What's up, everyone? Colonel Fats here, coming at you with episode 8 of the Fatty Fighters training series. In this episode, I'll be going over Sparking Blast, pretty much everything you need to know about Sparking Blast. So let's get started. Alright guys, so now that we're in training, let's get started. So Sparking Blast is that little Samus screw attack icon to the right of your health bars. You get one per match and gives you a damage boost and a bunch of other stuff. But just go over the basics. How do we activate it? Well, if you go into your button settings, you're using like a fight stick and not a controller because I don't map it to anything. You can actually map it to a button. I just don't because I use my extra buttons rather than that. Like, I'd probably accidentally activate it somehow just by playing too aggressively. But you can set it to a button, but in reality, it is light, medium, heavy, special, all at the same time. And if you look, I have my Dragon Rush and my Super Dash, which is light, medium, heavy, and special, to right bumper, right trigger. You know, that's just, personal to me. I like that. It's kind of what the game starts with as well. So if you want to spark and hit all of the buttons, you can actually just fat thumb it and hit every single button if you really wanted to. I feel like I would screw that up and only hit like 3 of them and like a Dragon Rush would come out or something. So what I do is I just hit Dragon Rush and Super Dash at the same time. You just hit those two at the same time, it'll activate. I feel like that's much easier than hitting all the buttons. I actually had to look into it. I'm like, I don't know, how do you spark? What is the input for spark? Because I've got it mapped to the 2 buttons, and if you go through the tutorial, I'm pretty sure it just tells you, yeah, just hit Dragon Rush and Super Dash at the same time, bam. But if you wanted to, like I said, you could map it to its own button and then just hit like right stick or something. I have my right stick as reset because I use training mode a lot. So that's kind of where that comes. Now, if we want to go with the specifics on what you get during it, well, let's just jump into the training settings real quick just so I can show you what you can do. There's 3 sparking levels, and literally the only difference between these, I thought there was a damage buff between the levels, but there actually isn't. No, it's just duration. So if you have your whole team alive, it's 1, and it doesn't last that long. If you have 2 people left and one of your characters died, it will last longer, and then if you have 1 player left, it will last the longest, and you can do TODs and stuff. Well, I mean, you can do it with 1. In terms of training, I always set this to just auto recovery because normally I'm testing like TODs when I'm using this, so it's better to just have it come back when it runs out. I mean, it's usually I just reset anyway, so I wouldn't say that's the hugest deal. And then you can actually have 2 sparking blasts. I've never done this in a game because in order to get 2 sparking blasts, you need to summon Shenron, which is the 7 Dragon Balls, 7 bars, summon Shenron, get 2 sparking blasts. Mainly, I've seen this in combo videos where people are just doing unrealistic fancy combos with double spark, like solo TODs, stuff like that. It's not practical at all, but hey, it's in the game, so you can do it. In terms of stats on what happens when you spark, you get a straight up 20% damage boost, so let's just do H there. You see where his health goes. Now we'll just 20% damage, does much more, 20% more at that, so pretty much basic there. In terms of your meter, you'll generate meter significantly faster. So just as a basic test, I've got her, we're at 3 bars, we'll sprint up to him, didn't even get a bar, okay, whatever. Now let's spark, 1.5 bars. So it essentially like doubles your, it honestly looks like it does. It doubles your meter gain. I don't know if it specifically said that anywhere, but it, 0.75 versus 1.5. I mean, come on, that's double. That's math. Anyways, if we go on to some more specific stuff, well, actually, just another feature it has is moves that normally, any normal move, light, medium, heavy, or S, is now jump cancelable in sparking. And just give an example, I will do what I'm doing 21 combos. She can jump cancel after her S because it's in normal key blast. So keynote is if the key blast don't hit, she won't be able to jump until it does. I mean, this is a weird scenario. I mean, See, she can't jump cancel it because it missed. But if I hit him with it, I can jump. So that's essentially the gimmick there. A lot of characters who are really cool can do some really neat stuff with it. I like Gogeta. His corner setups or his corner combos like TODs and stuff with sparking are cool because his S is a beam and his down S is a beam. So you can do stuff like this. You could just jump, beam. Hang on. I think I don't remember how I did it.
A few moments later.
Oh, you do it after the age. That's right. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So he can jump cancel after using his, obviously it has to connect, but he can jump cancel S down S, jump S down S. And it just looks sick, in my opinion. Just beam, 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 beam. Oh, Gogeta's got some fun stuff. But let's go back to the main, the 21. Now, in terms of health recovery, you also get it'll start, if you have any blue health, you'll start regaining that real quick. So, well, actually, we all know a level 3 leaves you with all blue health. So, we'll just do that, and then it will show you the power of the spark. So, Blastoid, we get hit. Now we got all that blue health. If we spark, it regens. This is really good for surviving level 3s. Like, say you're doing like an optimal combo on an opponent who just sparked, and you ended in level 3. That level 3 is like not really going to do much because it's going to damage and recover at the same time. So it's really doing minuscule damage. So it can help you survive, especially if you're a last character. And then the last big thing about Vanish is, honestly, this used to screw over my friend Mike's fam a ton because he would always end up, we know how Vanish works. You hit him with a move, then you vanish, and you get that wall bounce. Well, if you vanish and spark and hold, light and medium, or medium and heavy, hold the vanish buttons, you don't actually do that smash. So it's very important to be aware of that when doing combos where you hit them with a projectile, because if you're accidentally holding vanish and you just wanted to smack them away like that, you'll get confused why it's not working, and you simply were just holding the button. I haven't been able to figure out any other way. I wonder if you just hold heavy. No, you literally have to hold both buttons for this to work. One other thing I wanted to mention before getting to the application of how we can use this effectively is when you're doing like TOD combos and stuff, if you use one of your assists earlier, it will actually start recovering. Like in a normal combo, we'll smack them around and do, we use an assist or whatever. And now that assist's gone, that assist won't start covering if I keep hitting him. But in sparking, the assist will start up during the combo, provided I, keep it. So we'll just try something here. I did not test anything for this. Yeah, I don't know Gogeta's combo that well. We'll figure it out. So now, as you can see, Goku starts recovering immediately, and I'm still comboing. So, like, that's a huge part of TODs. For me, at least when I was first figuring them out, I would try to get one of my assists used really early, so that by the time I'm using my second assist, and get towards the end of the combo and want to end it, I can use that first assist again. So you can actually get 3 assists in combos. I mean, maybe 4 if you got an assist so you can use them both at the same time, and then they both recover. I don't know. Never seen it in my life. But like I said, if you're testing TOD combos and you got A and B assists, now this doesn't really work with C assists because they recover like very slow, so it won't work as well. But with the A and B assists, they recover fast enough. You can get 3 assists in one combo with sparking. Now, I'd say one of the most common things you're going to run into defensively against sparking is, doesn't matter if your opponent has used 6M at all in the match. Once they spark, you better get ready for that 6M, because We all know at 6M, you can't confirm it unless you have an assist. You can't vanish. You can't do anything. You use an assist to extend with, right timing and all that. But you need an assist. But what if you're down to your last character? Well, if you spark, you can actually confirm 6M for free. There's two ways to do it. One's the free way, one's the cheaper way. It kind of depends on positioning and I would say ease to do. I sometimes struggle with canceling dash-ins. So what I'm talking about is you can vanish with spark. We already learned if you hold the vanish, you don't do the smack, you just float in the air above them. So you can actually do a falling attack after that. So what we want to do is 6M, vanish, falling attack, and then light into the combo. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty nice. Now the other way, the meterless way to do this in sparking is you dash cancel after your 6M. Now what move you do is pretty character dependent. I actually just tested it out with 21 and you have to do lights with her. It won't work otherwise. I'll show you what I mean. I've got him set to reflect. So if I try and cancel this and dash in medium, well, it does work. Apparently my timing was off earlier. Proves what I know. But either way, you dash cancel the 6M and then you can continue the combo without having to spend a bar to do that vanish. And it's pretty nice, especially if your opponent's in the corner, because then you keep the same side, so you don't have to worry about side switching and you can keep your pressure in the corner. One other thing I wanted to mention, a really good use for it, is if your opponent's really likes to throw out projectiles in the air or anywhere really, and you're sparking, hold that vanish and 2H them pretty much. So I got Goku here. He's just gonna jump up and shoot his little fist beam, whatever the hell you call it, Jiren attack. And then we're gonna spark. He does that. I hold the vanish, then light, and then 2H. And now I keep my smash property, because all I did was teleport behind him. I didn't attack him or nothing. So we keep the smash property and all of that. And if we really, wanted to, we had the meter, we could spark, then we could vanish, and then go into the EX slam and continue the combo that way. You got options, but essentially, if you got Goku you're fighting, or someone who's throwing a lot of projectiles at you, and you're in spark, just vanish behind them and steal it. Now, there is an interesting scenario where if they counter vanish, it's hard to really show, but if they counter vanish, you still can hit buttons and take your turn. It's a weird thing that people have found out, but if you're in spark and you vanish behind them and their panic instinct is to vanish, you can mash light and catch them before their vanish kick hits you, and you essentially just win automatically. Once you get up there and you realize the situation a lot, it's like, oh nice, I vanished behind him, then he vanished, ha, what an idiot, because you get free punish on that for the most part. I mean, he could unless he was sparking as well and he held his vanish. That's, I feel, the only scenario where you don't win. One thing I wanted to quick mention is when you use this vanish, you don't get your vanish back until you are back on the ground flat-footed. And typically what this means is you have to use an assist. That way you can still get your wall bounce into DR or whatever you might be trying to do. So just to show that, I'm going to have Goku jump up and do the same thing. We're going to launch him up. And then I'm just going to do light, key blast, and try and vanish. Can't vanish. I couldn't vanish because I used it and I hadn't re-landed yet. So how we can gain that vanish back is using an assist to extend. So we're going to use Goku here. Jump up, shoot his beam. Then we come down, launch him into Goku. And then notice the vanish is back. And it's still got the wall bang. Nice. And then we can continue with our other assist. And then our vanish came back again because we landed flat-footed and continued the combo. Now the issue is you only get one vanish wall bang, as you call it, per combo. So you can't, as you can see, I did not get another wall bang. I mean, it was after a Dragon Rush anyway, but I was not going to be able to get a wall bounce again in the combo. But either way, to get that, say you really want to end in a Dragon Rush or swap your opponent out, you can get that vanish back into that air vanish into Dragon Rush by using an assist when you get them back to the ground. Alright, so in terms of defense, there's really not a whole lot, but I just want to emphasize this because it was absolutely needed in the game. This was not a thing in Season 1, I believe. I think it was Season 2 or some update happened which allowed this, and you can spark while you're blocking. Typically, you had to wait for like a gap in their string or something to be able to spark, but not anymore. Now, while you're stuck in their block string, it can be used as a defensive tool. Say your opponent is just schmixing you in the corner and you can't do a thing about it. You can spark, get them the fuck away from you, and then you can, clear away. So just to prove that it's true, I got Goku set up to do his auto combo. So I'm just going to block him, and then bam, I can spark while I'm blocking. It pushes him away and gives me some breathing room. So then I can, be all right. It's very good to save characters, but like we saw, the damage stacks from level 3, having one character left. It does stack with the sparking. So yeah, you can use it to save your first character, but that can also go really wrong and you just lose your first character anyway, and then you lose your spark, which, it's dubbed the comeback mechanic, which is kind of what it is. So it can be worth it to save it, can be worth it to save a character, get out of corner, all that stuff. It's a good defensive tool, and I absolutely agree that they needed to do that change. All right, so for the last section, I want to show you how you can activate this safely, as well as how you can combo with it. So I guess it's kind of two things, but whatever. One thing I wanted to mention though, so about activation, a lot of the time, say you're down to your last character, you're like, oh, I got a spark before I forget I even have a spark. If you're a new player, sometimes you forget the mechanic exists, and you never want to die with spark on the table because it's such a powerful mechanic that if you don't use it and die before it, that's rough. But anyway, upon activation, a lot of times people will jump because, some people will dash in at you or something like that. You jump and it's like, okay, I'm safe. Bam. Well, not completely. That can be pretty dangerous. Like, say your opponent just super dashes you. You don't push them away typically, and then they perfectly punish you before you can do anything. So it can be risky to just jump up, sparking, activate. But you kind of got to know your opponent. Are they going to do that or not? But the other way to really do it is in a combo. Once you land any hit, I mean, this is obviously the safest way, but it's also, you got to get a hit, so you got to go in there and be unsafe. But either way, say you land like a super dash, and you do that spark, you see how he just flops to the ground like that? I can confirm off that. It's a knockdown that you just get to confirm off of. Bam. See, it's what do they call it? Bouncing knockdown, something like that. He bounces off the ground, giving you a little bit of time to hit him. So, typically if you watch like a TOD combo, they'll do it in the corner, and then they play off that bounce and basically reset some damage on the ground. The higher you do it, I'd say it gets significantly harder to confirm that wall bounce or the ground bounce, but it is possible. It's not impossible. But typically, either a standing age or something like this, you want to just, keep that. And obviously, say I super dash at him like that, and then I spark. He hits the ground, so my super dash comes back. So then my smash attack, I can super dash up at him. So it basically just resets you to a normal combo. But then it's also good to notice your scaling. If you start with lights, you do a lot of hits before you do it. Some B&B combos have a lot of hits, especially once you start throwing assists in there. So just be wary that you can potentially screw yourself into hitting them too many times and they just auto tech out. So it's worth that to notice. But in terms of the safe ways to do it, once you land a hit, you're pretty much safe to spark and get even more damage. One thing that I would also mention, just for a final send-off advice, is if you got your opponent high enough in the air and you got your spark, say you caught someone who has a ton, like say Frieza had a ton of blue health right now. I'm like, I got Goku out here, I need to switch that to Frieza. Well, you can actually use spark to get a free Dragon Rush. It doesn't really matter on the height, so we just do it, then we spark, then DR immediately, and then bam. So that works like every character. I don't know a character that doesn't work with. So you just, if you really got a lot of blue health, or you also just wanted to spark and get bang for your buck, I get my health and you lose your blue, stuff like that. So you can get the free Dragon Rush. It's available. Now you obviously have to pop your spark to do it, but nonetheless, it's still something. That's going to wrap things up for episode 8 of the Fatty Fighters training series. I hope you guys learned all about Spark and can start using it effectively. I'd say the main takeaways, especially for new players, is learn how to actually confirm that 6M with your spark. Either you're going to use the vanish or you're going to do the dash cancel forward. But I think even bigger is knowing that it exists, because this is like your opponent is going to 6M you when they spark. So this is really good to know. Just as a counter for 6M, you can reflect the 6M. So if you think they're going to do it in their block string, you can start mashing reflect, get them away from you. And then if they vanish thinking their 6M was going to hit, you can 2H them if they're getting cocky and not blocking after that banish. So there's a lot of applications of sparking. I covered the basics and hopefully everything you really would need to know. But again, as a final send-off, watch out for that 6M when your opponent sparks, because that destroyed me. It still gets me at, I'm living legend rank now, but I still get hit by 6M and spark, and I'm like, God damn it, free combo for them. So it's really important to do that. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you check out all my other social media links. I'm posting stuff everywhere, and the Fatty Fighters Revival Tournament is back. It is a PC tournament on Twitch. It will be held on the 20th, so make sure you guys sign up for that. If we can get a lot of people signed up, then we can keep it going. I want to keep this tournament going. I struggle to find PC relevant tournaments that I can compete in, so I said screw it, I'll host my own. So I hope to see you all there. Even if you're a console player, come watch. We got some good players. PCs made up of the best. That's right. Either way, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.